Get ready, we've got a wild one coming your way. President Trump is bringing cage matches to the White House for his 80th birthday, and you won't believe the lineup. And that's not all. UFC Seattle is heating up with a massive showdown between Israel Adesanya and Joe Pyfer. We're also diving deep into the predictions and odds for the entire UFC Seattle card. Don't miss a second, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell.
Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Cage matches are coming to the White House for President Trump's 80th birthday. This isn't a drill. The White House is set to host a spectacular mixed martial arts event right on its iconic lawn to celebrate President Donald Trump's milestone 80th birthday. In the coming weeks, an octagon-shaped, 6-foot wire mesh fence will be erected, transforming the presidential grounds into a battleground for UFC fighters. This unique celebration, timed with the nation's 250th anniversary, blends the raw energy of combat sports with the political landscape, reflecting Trump's own combative style. President Trump, a known fan of the sport, has a history with the UFC, having been the first sitting president to attend a UFC event back in 2019. His affinity for the sport, which he's called Ultimate Fighting, is seen as a strategic move to connect with voters and project a powerful masculine image. UFC CEO Dana White, a longtime friend, is reportedly involved in setting up the event, with plans for a temporary arena and large screens for fans. The event aims to be one of the greatest and most historic sports events in history, according to White House Communications Director Stephen Cheung. This unprecedented fusion of politics and pugilism has sparked widespread discussion. Fans and critics alike are weighing in on the implications of hosting such an event at the White House, with some seeing it as a perfect encapsulation of Trump's approach to politics and others questioning the appropriateness. The card itself, while featuring championship bouts, has also drawn some criticism online for the perceived absence of top-tier talent. Nevertheless, the event is poised to be a major spectacle drawing attention not just for the fights, but for its symbolic significance. But what does this mean for the upcoming fights and the fighters themselves? Stay tuned as we break down the odds and predictions for UFC Seattle. UFC Seattle is here, and the odds are in for Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer. Get ready for an explosive night of fights as UFC Seattle takes over the Climate Pledge Arena. The main event features a highly anticipated middleweight clash between former champion Israel Adesanya and the hard-hitting Joe Pyfer. This card is packed with talent, and we've got the full moneyline odds for every matchup, thanks to DraftKings. Will the last stylebender bounce back, or will Pyfer unleash his knockout power? The betting lines are live, and they paint an interesting picture. Adesanya steps into the octagon as a favorite, but Pyfer is known for his dangerous striking and has been on a tear in the UFC, securing multiple performance bonuses. This fight isn't just about the main event. We've got a stacked undercard featuring matchups like Alexa Grasso versus Macy Barber and Michael Chiesa in what could be his retirement fight. We're also looking at intriguing bouts like Marcin Tybura versus Tyrell Fortune and Ricky Simon versus Adrian Yanez, with odds reflecting the close contests expected. Experts and fans are already debating the outcomes. While Adesanya brings a wealth of experience and technical skill, Pyfer represents a significant power threat and a rising contender eager to make a statement. The betting trends suggest a cautious approach from oddsmakers, with several fights featuring tight margins. This event is more than just a night of fights. It's a platform for rising stars and a chance for veterans to solidify their legacies. The energy in Seattle is palpable, and fight fans are buzzing about the potential upsets and dominant performances on tap. But who are the experts picking to win these crucial matchups? We've got the full rundown on predictions for UFC Seattle, coming up next. UFC Seattle. Our experts weigh in on Adesanya versus Pyfer and the entire fight card. Welcome to Seattle, fight fans. UFC Fight Night 271 is set to ignite the Climate Pledge Arena, and our team of 10 editors, writers, radio hosts, and videographers has made their picks for every single fight on the card. The main event pits former middleweight King Israel Adesanya against the powerful Joe Pyfer, and the predictions are in who has the edge. Our panel has analyzed each bout, from the electrifying prelims to the main card showdowns. We're seeing a strong lean towards Adesanya in the headliner, with a majority of our experts believing he still has what it takes to overcome Pyfer's knockout threat. However, there's significant support for other fighters on the card as well. For instance, Michael Chiesa is heavily favored in what many anticipate will be his final professional fight, drawing an impressive 86% of the picks. Similarly, Terrence McKinney is expected by a large margin to secure a victory, with 74% of our team backing him. These picks reflect a deep dive into each fighter's recent performances, stylistic matchups, and potential for a finish. We're not just looking at who's the favorite on paper, we're considering the grit, determination, and X factors that make MMA so unpredictable. The consensus is clear on some fights, while others are split down the middle, hinting at potential barn burners. This expert analysis offers valuable insight for fight fans looking to understand the dynamics of each matchup and perhaps inform their own betting strategies. But what about the strategic keys to victory for the main event? We're breaking down Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer with a deep dive into the odds and predictions. Adesanya versus Pyfer, the ultimate fight preview and prediction for UFC Seattle. Tonight, the UFC stages a thrilling middleweight showdown in Seattle as Israel Adesanya squares off against Joe Pyfer at UFC Seattle. This clash features two dynamic strikers, but their paths and styles present a fascinating strategic puzzle. Can the veteran stylebender recapture his dominant form, or will the surging knockout artist Pyfer make a definitive statement? Israel Adesanya, once a seemingly invincible champion, has faced tougher competition in recent years, experiencing losses to elite fighters. While he's shown flashes of his former brilliance, questions remain about his current capabilities against top contenders. His game has evolved, focusing on distance management, jabs, and feints to set up powerful counters. Joe Pyfer, on the other hand, is a rising force known for his devastating power and aggressive striking. He's quickly climbed the ranks, securing multiple performance bonuses, and possesses the physical tools to challenge any opponent. However, Pyfer's game has a notable weakness. He can be flat-footed, struggling against highly mobile opponents, and has yet to fully develop his cage-cutting abilities. For Adesanya, the key lies in utilizing his superior footwork and distance control to keep Pyfer at bay, avoiding his heavy right-hand swings. If Stylebender can maintain his active movement and feints, he should be able to dictate the pace. Pyfer, conversely, needs to adopt a more strategic approach than simply trying to land a knockout blow early. He should aim to wear Adesanya down with body work, low kicks, and clinch pressure, exploiting the veteran's potential fatigue. Mixing up his attack and potentially incorporating takedowns, similar to how Dricus du Plessis approached Adesanya, could prove effective. This fight is difficult to predict with certainty, as both fighters are on different trajectories. Adesanya looking to prove he can still compete at the highest level, and Pyfer aiming to establish himself as an elite force. And that's a wrap on our fight previews for tonight. Don't go anywhere. We've got a lightning round recap of all the top stories and your full call to action coming up next. And that's a wrap on our fight previews for tonight. Don't go anywhere. We've got a lightning round recap of all the top stories and your full call to action coming up next.